loves, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Joy, and I don't have a ton of words for what I'm about to show you that happened over the weekend. We've had more Biden, we've had more gaffes, we've had more concerning things, but now I gotta set the scene for this because I can't, okay. So you know how Biden has said that he grew up in black churches, he was around black culture. Remember, he went to Charlemagne the God in an interview and said, if you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black. Comment, especially if you're one of my black or brown or minorities that watch, please comment and tell me what you think about this statement. I hope the word minority is okay. I know y'all are taking over the majority and good on ya. I just don't know the words to use at this point, not trying to offend anybody. However, Biden's saying he grew up in the black churches, right? Literally, he goes to a black church, gives a speech, and the speech, I grew up in black churches. Guys, he doesn't give an offering. He doesn't have cash on him. They have to teach him how to give an offering, and thus he ends up stealing from the collection plate. I'm not kidding. This is how bad things are. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Guys, this video comes from Memeology. Go subscribe if you haven't. They're hysterical. They find all kinds of funny clips and put them together. I want you to see this. And also, let me know. I want you to watch. Can you interpret what is being said between the pastor and Biden? We need a lip reader. I want to know the tea on this because this is so good. Pastor gives Biden cash, teaches him how to give an offering during his visit at Philadelphia's Mount Airy Church. Teaches him.
I don't feel no waste time. Oh, I've come too far from where
he doesn't know what to do.
Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
I said for anybody who's ever been discouraged, I don't feel no waste time. Oh, come too far from where I started from. Oh, nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far. I don't believe he brought me this far. God would leave us now. He brought me this far. Brought me all the way. He brought me this far. Brought me with tears in my eyes. He brought me this. He brought me when burdens got heavy. He brought me this far. The storms of life were raging. He brought me this far. He kept on holding my hand.
And let's lay one thing to rest. I may be a practicing Catholic. I used to go to 7:30 Mass every morning in high school and then in college before I went to the black church. Not a joke. Andy knows this.
So that was a fucking lie.
Yeah! What do you say? Like, first of all, the look of terror. You could tell the pastor, and sound off in the comments, can you, like, lip read, interpret exactly what was going on? But the pastor comes over, pastor has to give him his own money, which I assume that was money out of the collection plate, gives it to Biden and has to instruct Biden, this is what you do. Did you see the look that whole time of sheer terror on Biden's face, just standing there, sometimes smiling and waving just a little bit? Then they had to walk him down, and as he's being walked down, he has to not only talk to the pastor, but the people around him to make sure that he is doing exactly what needs to be done. And then you can see once he puts the offering in, the smile comes back. There is a sense of relief from him. But he didn't account for this, and he had to go off script. A question I have is, why would you go into church and not have money on you? I can understand if you're a kid or a teenager, you don't know any better, but at this point, we know when you go to a church, you're supposed to give some type of offering. That's just how it works. That's how they make their money. And they try to do things with that money and give back to the communities, and that's what the whole thing is for. This is just sad. I just, like, shame on everyone around him Shame on the White House, who's been covering this up. Shame on Jill Biden, parading him around like this when he is clearly not okay. And what I want you guys to understand from the title of my video is, from what we just saw, this was stealing. He stole from the collection plate, and you could say, well, they gave it to him. Okay, he took somebody else's offering as his own and put it in there for optics. He stole somebody else's offering, or he stole money from the church to make it look like he is actually putting money in. And he didn't. I really hope they made a donation to that church. And I will say, I don't know that pastor, but thank God to that pastor. He seemed so kind and humble, and like he was genuinely, that whole church seemed like they were genuinely trying to help him figure out what to do. And that's wonderful, right? So you want to give credit where it's due. And I'm glad that they were able to do that and see that this man needs help. What do you say to this? What do you say? But guys, we're not done. We have more gaps. So I want you to look at this. This is from a speech he did this weekend, and I want you to tell me, what is he saying?
I know we have your help. With my help, helping us working together, we're going to get a hell of a lot done for the American people, and we're going to make sure these things are. So anyway, I guess if I stand here long enough, all those folks in the back are going to die of sunstroke.
What? What did he say? What did he say, guys? I don't know. I don't know. Tell me if you understood that incoherent rambling. And he'll say that, and it's weird because he'll end with stuff like, well, if I keep going on, people aren't going to be here. People's lives are going to end. I'm going to lose votes. I'm not going to be president. It's weird. As he goes off script, he ends up accidentally outing more and more of what's happening and what's actually going on behind the scenes. Not because I think that he doesn't want to keep secrets. Part of being a politician is you got to keep all kinds of secrets between you and other people, right? But I think a lot of it is that those mental faculties of knowing what to say, what not to say, what information to give out, all of that stuff is just going. And it's sad. It's sad. And there are calls right now for him to drop out Friday. There are meetings, Congress is coming back, and they are trying to figure out ways to get him to drop out Friday. The problem is, guys, they can't. The only way, Biden is the one who has to do this. However, there are two ways. Number one, if the donors go ahead and say, we're not giving you any more money, he has no more money to campaign. But this man is so stubborn in what I think is either Alzheimer's, dementia, or Parkinson's, which we know Parkinson doctors have been coming back and forth with him. I don't think he has the cognitive ability to drop out of the race. I think with all of those things that are advancing, whatever medical issues he has, it makes it so it's not just the speech, he doesn't know where he is, the mumbling, the incoherent, all of that, right? It's the fact that I don't think he can make decisions. I don't think he can properly make decisions. Even in that interview that he had, he looked like he didn't really know what was going on when it came. He refused to believe that people were saying, you need to give up and leave and resign. He just kind of refused that was the reality. I don't think he can weigh decisions. My concern in that is, when it comes to people who have this much money and are evil, then what's the other way? What's the other path forward? Well, we could try to go through the routes of doing the 25th Amendment and trying to get him out. That is just a horror show for the Democratic Party, and will tear them apart, which I would love to see. But then what do you do? He has said it will take an act of God. My question is an act of God some staged situation where he has some staged medical issue and he's no longer with us? And when I mean staged, I mean, I don't think it's a real medical issue. People with this much money, they have the power to do things like that. Will they take him out? I'm praying that his team, that Jill, that everybody around him steps up and actually helps him before that happens. Because I'm concerned when it comes to marketing and optics and PR, the best this can look is that Biden has a medical issue and is no longer with us. And I really hope that's not the case. Let him retire. Let the man be in peace. I'm not a fan of his at all. I don't like him, but I'm also not somebody that wants to see people suffer and are tortured. And I feel like I'm one of the few people who is screaming, I'm concerned that people are about to do something to him. And not because I wish it, but because we know how these people act. I don't know. What do you guys think? What did he mumble? What do you think about him taking from the collection plate? Tell me your thoughts, guys. Sound off in the comments and click the plus sign. I've got more coming.